The wing and head on the classic dry fly, the elk hair caddis, is made from elk hair. And so before I start tying that fly, I'm going to prepare the elk hair. I'm going to take a little pinch of it, grab it by the top of the hair, and snip that off. Then I'm going to pull out all of the under hair, so that all I'm left with is what I'm pinching up here is the top hairs. Then that pinch of hair is going to go into the stacker. And what that does is it takes all the hair and puts it at the same length at the end, so that I'm ready here to put on the wing and head when I come to that part of the fly. And I'm just going to leave it all in the stacker here so it's out of the way. I'm tying this caddis, elk hair caddis, on a standard number 14 dry fly hook. I'm going to be using this tan. This is actually 12-0. You could use a 8-0 on a 14, but this is what I have. I have some ginger for the hackle, and I'm going to be using this UNI-French gold oval small for the gold ribbing, and then I have just some tan dubbing for the body. So let's lay down some thread. I'm going to strip back a little bit of the hackle. You can cut those if you want, or I'm just going to pull off the end fibers there. So I have just that stem to tie in, and I'm tying it in shiny side up. And I'm going to wind that all the way back to the bend of the hook. I'm not too concerned about those threads. I guess you could pull them out or clip them out, but they're going to be underneath of the dubbing. Then I'm going to move my thread back up the shank a little bit so I can tie in my rib. Take that back to where I have the hackle, and then bring my thread back up. I need a good couple eyes length up here at the front of the hook for the head. Got ahead of myself. I need to take this thread back because we need to put some dubbing in. Alright, so I have this dubbing, couple inch noodle on this 14 hook. And build a little taper up here at the top of the thorax, that's fine. Bring my thread up here where I'm going to tie in the head. I'm going to just put a half hitch in here to hold the thread while I put the ribbing in. Okay, then take the gold. Now there's different ways that you can do this. Some people, and that's what I'm doing here, is put the gold ribbing down over the dubbing first. Other people will put the hackle in first and then weave that dubbing through the hackle. I don't know that it makes a lot of difference which way you do it. Do what works for you. Flip that out, and then we're going to take our, I'm going to put another half hitch in here just to hold my thread while I put in my hackle. And we'll tie that off. If you want to, you can take and just kind of clip off these top threadies, make room for the wing. Now we're going to take that elk hair that we've evened out. We're going to make our wing about the length of the hook shank. And we start by just putting a couple loose wraps in there, and then tighten them down and tie that in nice and tight. Pick up these ends and do some wraps in front. I'm actually going to do my whip finish before I cut the head so that I can put the whip finish on the hook shank right here behind the eye. See if I can do both of these at the same time. Snip out that thread. Now I'm going to cut off all of this extra elk hair up here in front of my tie to create the head. So I'll just start by snipping that off like that, and then I can come back in here and shape that head a little bit. And that's the classic elk hair caddis.